Well, joining me now to continue this debate is Bob Ward, Policy Director at the Grantham Research Institute at the London School of Economics. Bob, I know you're a very committed person to, achieving net zero and all of these things. But isn't the truth of it, given that we produce just 1% of global CO2, and that within the last 10 days, China have just opened the biggest coal-fired power station ever seen in the world, one of, I think, 80 that they built last year. Doesn't there come a point, and I'm not arguing about climate change with you, I'm arguing about policy. Doesn't there come a point when actually, for ordinary folk out there struggling with gas and electricity bills, to put 25% on their electricity bill to pay for wind energy becomes actually politically and morally unsustainable?
Well, the cost of living crisis, as you know, Nigel, is due to the cost of natural gas. It's not due to green energy. The reason our bills are going up, both our gas and electricity bills, is because gas is expensive to buy at the moment. The supply of gas around the world is not matching the demand. And so we, like most European countries, are paying far more. And that's because we're dependent on natural gas. So if we have more clean sources of domestic energy, it would actually lower our gas.
Bob, we're dependent on natural gas, and we burnt more natural gas last year than we've done for some years because the wind didn't blow. I mean, it's as simple as that. Those ridiculously priced, subsidised wind farms did not produce anything like their potential optimum, and that's why we burnt more natural gas.
And you can't depend on natural gas because you can't
depend on wind.
Can't depend on natural gas. That's what's driving the cost of it.
But you can't depend on wind.
It's not wind turbines that's putting people's bills up.
Well,
it's
I tell you what.
Natural gas.
Well, I've got an idea then. I've got an idea. Rather than importing natural gas from Scandinavia and Qatar,
you want to frack, don't you?
Why don't we produce tens of thousands of well-paid jobs in the northwest of England, produce our own? Wouldn't that make sense? And in America, well, they've done that. Their consumers and businesses are paying far less for natural gas.
Well, it comes down to whether your viewers, Nigel, would rather have in their neighbourhood a wind turbine or a fracking rig shattering the ground underneath them. You raise the United States, it's got 5 times our population, but 40 times the area, so lots of big open spaces. Now, you've made the case in the past that people shouldn't have wind turbines foisted on them if they don't want them. Well, the same should apply to fracking rigs, and people have said they don't want them in their back garden. I mean, they don't want
the difference with a fracking rig is they're smaller than this studio, as you know. And there are arguments about geological turmoil, and I get that too. The point I'm making, or trying to make to you, Bob, is that net zero is becoming unsustainable and unaffordable. I return to this point. Ordinary folk are paying way too much money. They didn't notice it when energy bills were down, but now that energy bills are up, why are poorer people in this country being made to pay all this money to big companies when China, India, Russia and many others are going to, 4 billion tonnes of coal these countries are going to burn this year? Why should ordinary folk here pay a price that is not being paid around the rest of the world?
People are paying more now, Nigel, because of natural gas. If we were accelerating our clean energy, clean domestic sources of energy, we wouldn't be paying so much. The reason why, and you have already the warm homes discount, right? That's already available to people on pensions and on lower incomes. They get this help to help with the high cost of energy, and it's charged on all of our electricity bills through a green levy, which is the green levy, which you keep arguing we shouldn't be paying.
Yes.
The fact is, if we are moving further and quicker towards clean domestic sources of energy, we wouldn't be paying so much now because of our dependence on
I suspect if we did that, the lights could go out completely. We will continue this debate because it's not going to go away.